Hi, BC family. Welcome to your midweek devotion. I titled this Devo this week, Upping Our Game. And so I'm going to start off with Isaiah 40, verses 28 through 29. Do you not know? Have you not heard? The everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, does not become weary or tired. His understanding is inscrutable. He gives strength to the weary, and to him who lacks might, he increases power. It's really that verse 29 that I want to hone in on. And the NIV version says, he gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Really, really like that. So he who lacks might, he increases in power, and he gives strength to the weary. So while we keep these verses in our mind, I want to talk about our cell phones. Because most of us, if not all of us, have cell phones. And we've all been there before where our phone battery suddenly dies, right? You see the red and you're like, oh no, I need to plug it in. I need to find a source. I need to do something, right? And just the other day, I was on a really long walk with my dog and I was talking to people, and all of a sudden I realized my phone was going to die. And I was like, oh my gosh. So what do? You start to speed up, try and get to some form of source so that you can refill that battery, right? And sometimes we've been at airports, or maybe you've gone out different places where you only find plugs for just short amount of time. You kind of bring it back up, but then you have to go places, and then you bring it back up, but then you have to go places, right? Getting some juice, but not all of it. And so all of us, you've got to know what I'm talking about, right? Where we're constantly trying to keep our phone where it needs to be. And in everyday life, we as humans have our own battery life, right? A lot of times when we feel like we're running low. I'm filming this on a Monday after winter break, first day back to teaching 23 kindergartners. Your battery life's a little low, right? And we try as humans to plug into different sources. We get that extra shot of espresso. Let's call a friend and talk about our day. I don't know about you, but I say cozy blankets and sweats. Let's get them on. That fills me up a little bit. Does it ever really fill us to full though? No. It's like plugging in just for a little bit, kind of getting it back up, and then going about our day and watching it drain again, right? It's never giving us that full charge. And here's where those verses are going to come back into play. But I want to read verse 29 in the Amplified now. He gives power to the faint and weary, and to him who has no might, he increases strength, causing it to multiply and making it to abound. I really, really love that version of that verse. He gives power to the faint and weary, and to him who has no might, he increases. But in order to have this increase in strength, to have power when you feel weak, we have to plug in to him. So I want you to visualize that phone cord. We need to plug into God and into his word. So pastors talked this past Sunday about our word for 2026, and it's breakthrough and fix in 2026. But you can't have breakthrough unless you're doing something different in your life. If you do nothing different in your life, then nothing is going to change for you. So it's all about upping our game, which is the title of this Devo. And so they talked on last Sunday, instead of just, I do my one Devo in the morning, I do my one, let's do a 2 a day. Can we give God a second part of our day? Can you maybe end your day with God? You start your day with God, can you end your day with God? What can you do to up your game so that you can constantly plug into the source and run on full and not on dangerously low? Right? What can you do differently to keep your battery life plugged into God so that you as a person are not running low, relying on espresso or calls or cozy blankets, that you have this constant because you have done something different in your life to connect yourself with the almighty energy, right? With God. So you can even ask yourself this question: in what way can I regularly plug into God's power going forward in 2026? That could be a question you could ask yourself. What can I do to be regularly plugging into God's power? I also love this quote by Mother Teresa. She said, we need to find God, and he cannot be found in noise and restlessness. God is the friend of silence. We need silence to be able to touch souls. Pastor Greg talked this last Sunday as well. If you haven't heard it, I highly recommend, about reaching other people. We can't reach other people when we're running on empty. So instead, we need to be plugging into God's power, sitting with him, recharging in him, so that we can reach other people for his kingdom. And we do this, again, by upping our game. What can we do differently in our life so that we are plugged in and able to reach other people? Another way of upping our game is working on our focus. So Philippians 4:8 says, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. So in 1999, there was an experiment done by Harvard University, and they called it the invisible gorilla. And in the experiment, they had 6 people in black and white shirts pass a basketball back and forth. And the person that was watching, or there, the viewer, was supposed to count how many times the people in the white shirt passed the basketball. So here's what they found. The people who were so focused on the white shirts and counting how many times they passed the basketball, they missed something very, very obvious: a gorilla. You think it's crazy, but it's not. They completely missed a gorilla. Someone in a gorilla suit walked through the basketball passers up to the camera and very clearly thumped their chest and then walked off screen. But people were so busy counting the passes between the white shirted people that they never even noticed it. And at the end, they were asked, did you see the gorilla? And half of the people watching were like, yeah. But the half that was focused on the white shirts was like, what gorilla? Why is that? Because what we focus on will change what we observe around us. I mean, that guy blatantly walked through the middle of everybody, and half the people watching didn't even see him. Why? Because what you focus on will change what you observe around you. So it's crazy how our brain works that way. In another book called The Kindness Challenge, research was done on the typical topic, same type of topic with the thinking. And one of the main reasons they said for unneeded stress in our lives was that people would focus on things that annoyed or angered them and completely miss the good and wonderful stuff that was happening to them. So that's like the gorilla, right? In other words, they were missing the gorilla. So often we're worried about our circumstances, our problems, our jobs, our spouses, that we're missing all the good that is around us. And Philippians said, whatever is lovely, good, noble, admirable, think on these things. So that is a way that we can up our game in 2026 by making a conscious effort to shift our focus when we're tempted to complain, to focus on the problem. We turn to God's truth. We look at what God says so that we don't miss the gorilla, so that you don't miss what he has prepared for you in 2026. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, never lose an opportunity of seeing anything beautiful, for beauty is God's handwriting. I love that. And so I was reading in the Psalms the other day, and I saw David, I can say his name, in such a different light. So I'm going to finish this Devo by walking you through how David is just so much like you and me. And he is such a great example of just living everyday life. I gotta love David. So I'm going to read Psalms 31 and show you how David walked through his problems and circumstances. Or we could say how he chose to up his game, right? By his words. So let's go ahead and go to Psalms 31. I'm pretty sure that's what I said I was doing. Yes, I'm going to kind of read through it. It's got 24 verses, but I want you to see how David is an amazing example of how we can up our game. So he begins with, "Oh Lord, I have come to you for protection. Don't let me be disgraced. Save me, for you do what is right. Turn your ear to listen to me. Rescue me quickly." You could almost say he's like got no problems at this point. He's kind of like having a calm time. "Be the rock of my protection, a fortress where I'll be safe. You are my rock and my fortress for the honor of your name. Lead me out of this danger. Pull me from the trap my enemies set for me, for I find protection in you alone. I entrust my spirit into you. Rescue me. I hate those who worship worthless idols, and I trust in you, Lord." So he keeps going. "I will be glad and rejoice in your unfailing love, for you have seen my troubles, and you care about the anguish of my soul. You have not handed me over to my enemies, but have set me in a safe place." Now we can see suddenly this switch in his writing, and you can tell that life has hit, and he's going through some circumstances. "Have mercy on me, O Lord, for I am in distress. Tears blur my eyes. My body and soul are withering away. I am dying from grief. My years are shortened by sadness. Sin has drained my strength. You can see that his emotions are pulling to the surface as he's going through this storm. I am wasting away from within. I am scorned by all my enemies and despised by my neighbors. Even my friends are afraid to come near me. When they see me on the street, they run the other way. I am ignored as if I were dead, as if I were a broken pot. I have heard the many rumors about me, and I am surrounded by terror. My enemies conspire against me, plotting to take my life. So his emotions are taking over of what's going on. How many of us in our circumstances, our emotions are coming out? I don't know how I'm going to do this, and why is this happening to me? And I don't, that type of stuff. But here is where he ups his game. Here is where he's like, I need to plug into the right source. But I am trusting you, O Lord, saying, you are my God. He's reminding himself of God's truth, right? My future is in your hands. Rescue me from those who hunt me down relentlessly. Let your favor shine on your servant. In your unfailing love, rescue me. Don't let me be disgraced, O Lord, for I call out to you for help. Let the wicked be disgraced. Let them lie silent in the grave. Silence their lying lips, those proud and arrogant lips that accuse the godly. And he keeps going, and you can tell his spirit man is building. Why? Because he is plugged into the right place. How great is the goodness you have stored up for those who fear you. You lavish it on those who come to you for protection, blessing them before the watching world. You hide them in the shelter of your presence, safe from those who conspire against them. You shelter them in your presence, far from accusing tongues. Praise the Lord, for he has shown me the wonders of his unfailing love. He kept me safe when my city was under attack. He's reminding him of God's faithfulness throughout. And here he's telling you how it felt. In my panic, I cried out, I'm cut off from the Lord. But he comes back with the truth. You heard my cry for mercy and answered my call for help. Love the Lord, all you godly ones, for the Lord protects those who are loyal to him, but he harshly punishes the arrogant. So be strong and courageous, all you who put your hope in the Lord. If anything, in 2026, put all your eggs in this basket. Put all your hope in the Lord. Plugged into the right source. And I'm going to end really quick with Psalms 1, because that is an amazing example of plugging into the right source. Oh, the joy of those who do not follow the advice of the wicked, or stand around with sinners, or join in with mockers. Here we go. But they delight in the law of the Lord, meditating on it day and night. What is that? People who are delighting in God's word. What are they doing? They're building a relationship with him. When I am talking about upping your game for 2026, you are working on building a relationship with him. It says meditating on it day and night. That's your 2 a day. Not just your 1 a day. That's your 2 a day. Day and night. Not just in the morning for a checkbox. How many times are you plugging into God? They are like trees planted along the riverbank. Who? The people who are plugged into God. Bearing fruit each season. Their leaves never wither, and they prosper in all they do. So that right there is the effects of time with God. When you are plugged in and you are spending time with God and you are upping your game, you're like a tree planted along the riverbanks. You're bearing fruit in every season. Trees don't bear fruit in every season, but you can. Their leaves never wither, and they prosper in all they do. That should tell you when you are plugged in to the right source. So this week, let's up our game and plug in so that our batteries never run dry. Have a great week. Bye.